The SLO County's District Attorney's Office appealed a judge's decision barring their office from prosecuting the Tiana Arata case, potentially creating binding precedent.
The Rams got knocked out of the playoffs on Saturday, falling flat against the Packers at Lambeau Field.
And two seniors created a social media campaign through their Webwire that allowed seniors to share their experiences and struggles during their time at Cal Poly.
Broadcasting from Swanson Studios, you're watching Mustang News.
Hello, and welcome to Mustang News TV. I'm Sophia Sylvia.
And I'm Amanda Rondez. Here are today's top stories.
SLO County
District Attorney Dan Doe is appealing a judge's motion disqualifying his office from prosecuting the Tiana Arata case. But Arata's legal team says that's exactly what they wanted.
Federal Judge Matthew Guerrero granted the defense motion last month, citing an email Dow's wife sent to supporters fundraising off the Arata case. One of Arata's attorneys, Curtis Briggs, says he's excited by the appeal, calling it a strategic blunder on Dow's part.
Great. More hearings and more evidence means we're going to subpoena Dan Dow and put him on a stand under oath. And then we have him exactly where we want him. And we would never have been able to do that if he didn't file this appeal.
Briggs notes that the appeal creates a unique opportunity for the Arata case to leave a mark on the American legal system.
And if the appellate court sees it our way, then we have this opportunity to make binding precedent and binding law that will help other activists.
District Attorney Dow did not respond to a request for comment on this story, and his office has not released a statement about the appeal. However, in a statement regarding the recusal motion last month, Dow denied the existence of a conflict of interest and maintained his office had acted professionally. Briggs indicated that Tiana Arata will soon file a civil rights lawsuit against the District Attorney's Office and the SLO Police Department. Among other charges, Briggs accused SLO DA's investigator Michael LaRue of perjury and destruction of exonerating evidence.
But if he shows up in the same courtroom as I'm in, then I may place him under citizen's arrest.
For Mustang News, I'm Nathan Danielson.
If the appeal fails, the state attorney general's office would assume authority over the case. They have not yet indicated how they would proceed should they gain this authority. And now sports.
The Green Bay Packers ended the LA Rams Super Bowl run on Saturday, taking the NFC divisional game 32-18.
Green Bay. Rodgers going to throw it. Fire! It's caught! Touchdown, Adams!
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers had a strong evening at Lambeau Field, throwing for 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran one in. On the Rams side, the offensive failed to keep the clock and keep the ball out of Rodgers' hands. And when the Packers had the ball, the Rams' defense was flat. They failed to sack Rodgers, which put extra pressure on the secondary. Overall, the Rams seemed to be outplayed on both sides of the ball. The Packers stay at home to play Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday for a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
It's going to start warming up with some rain expected at the end of the week. Stay tuned for the latest in weather after the break.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Honey, have you seen my cell phone?
But don't just imagine.
My park came to life?
Ooh, a plot twist.
Use STEM to build, create.
She did it.
And change the world.
Who's with me?
I'm more of a 2 feet on the ground kind of guy.
It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Today's weather in San Luis Obispo is sunny with 23% humidity and winds from the northeast blowing at 25 miles per hour. Today, temperatures will reach a high of 70 degrees and a low of 50 degrees. Now, your 5-day forecast. It's going to be sunny this week with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. However, be prepared for showers this weekend, starting on Friday for what looks like to be an early start to San Luis Obispo's notorious winter raining season. Expect tomorrow to be sunny at a high of 76 degrees with a low of 51. And as for Thursday, you can expect similar weather with a high of 72 and a low of 45. This weekend will be a rainy one with showers expected on Friday at a high of 60 and a low of 43. Saturday, it is also expected to rain with a high of 57 and a low of 39. Now, let's take a look at the weather in South County. Temperatures will reach a high of 71 degrees and a low of 53 in Arroyo Grande. There will be a high of 68 and a low of 51 in Nipomo. Guadalupe will see a high of 83 degrees and a low of 75. Santa Maria will see a high of 70 and a low of 51. In Orcutt, there will be a high of 69 and a low of 50. And in Vandenberg, we will see a high of 69 and a low of 53. And
Julia Fish and Emily Tickner.
And Dear Cal Poly was a senior project that provided seniors with an outlet to share stories about their experiences at Cal Poly and connect them with freshmen to give them advice.
Julia Fish and Emily Tickner are both members of Women in Business at Cal Poly. They created a social media campaign called Dear Cal Poly for the Webwire, where seniors could share advice with freshmen about their 4 years of experience.
By creating something that would attract seniors to submit stories and attract freshmen to read them, we could hit like 2 big audiences at once.
This project allowed seniors to share advice that ranged from academics to finding friends.
So I would say the response from seniors was very welcoming, and it was kind of like they were kind of thankful to just kind of be able to share something.
They received positive feedback from freshmen that the stories offered great advice. The Webwire gained around 300 new followers on their Instagram and increased their viewership and readability on their website.
From seeing it and just hearing back from professors and departments and teachers that like have freshmen, I think the response was like, this is super helpful, like totally keep this up on your website. It's really good to like look back on, and it's definitely like really reassuring.
One girl reached out to The Wire, who they were able to connect with another student.
She was like, oh, I really resonate with the story. I'm having the same exact struggles in my major right now. Do you know if you could give me this girl's contact information? Like, I'd love to talk to her more about the experience. And so it was like we were able to connect 2 people, and I was not anticipating anybody to, come forward like that. So just knowing that was rewarding.
For Mustang News, I'm Haley Belcher.
Thank you, Haley. For more information on Cal Poly's Webwire, visit their website at webwire.com.
And in other news, the annual San Luis Obispo Women's March will be held virtually this coming weekend due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Reporter Nikki Morgan spoke with one of the coordinators of the event about how they worked to create a successful event without an actual march.
This is Mitchell Park, the typical beginning and ending place of the annual San Luis Obispo Women's March. However, this year, the march has been moved to a virtual format due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Co-founder of the march, Dawn Addis, spoke about how organizers plan to bring the march online.
So the idea is for people to tune in on Facebook and YouTube Live and get to interact with one another through the chat and just, hear some of the exciting things and ways to get engaged. We have an exciting lineup of speakers, including our featured guest, the Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, and she is California's first ever woman to become Lieutenant Governor. We've got 3 state senators. We have local activists who have been pushing forward here on the Central Coast. We expect quite a few people to jump on with us. We have a good turnout for the majority of our events.
To find out more, go to womensmarchslow.com. For Mustang News TV, I'm Nicole Morgan.
Thank you, Nikki. We hope to see the march return in person next year. After the break, learn how you can complete an internship in under a month.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate. You haven't really...
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bella and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool.
Many students are on the hunt for internships during their time in college, and now there's an option to complete an internship in less than a month.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology.
Internships are typically thought of as 2 to 3 month commitments, but another type of program is rising in popularity. Micro-internships are programs that are 5 to 40 hours of paid project-driven work. Many of them are remote and can be a week to a month long.
It's a quick way to earn extra income without making a long-term commitment. The student gets to explore different types of companies, and the employers get to explore different types of students and talent and graduates.
These opportunities can be found by going to careerservices.calpoly.edu, click on Find a Job or Internship, and click on Parker Dewey Micro Internships. They can also be found on Mustang Jobs powered by Handshake. Head over to Career Services or ask your career counselor to get more information on micro-internships.
Reporter Jared Contreras speaks with Art 103 students about what it's like adapting to a class that is being taught for the first time virtually.
Art 103 color theory students are slowly adjusting to a class that is only taught in winter quarter, and so must only now be taught virtually.
Especially in a class about color theory, we have to compare colors and hues and shades that are really, really nuanced. So if a red color has slightly more blue than it should, in real life, that would be really easy to tell, but sometimes it's difficult to see through a camera. And like we've seen in class, you have to like have really good lighting. You have to make sure that you're drawing your colors are in the right position with the camera, because that can actually affect the way that the color looks.
Students have found the computer screen to hinder some of the communication necessary in an art class.
I'm having to work a lot more independently and deciding what works for the colors and what doesn't, because you can only ask so many questions through a Zoom meeting. So I've had to learn to be much more independent and make more decisions.
Learning to learn on your own is a common feeling.
Being in person allows the teacher to see not just your product, but your process. That part is kind of left out of the online learning way of doing these classes.
For Mustang News TV, I'm Jared Contreras.
Thank you, Jared. Art 103 students are hopeful that they will make the most of this class virtually.
That's all we have for today's show. Reporting for Mustang News TV, I'm Amanda Rondez.
And I'm Sophia Sylvia. Have a great day, San Luis Obispo.
Yay!